Hello there again, it's Darren from Investor Income. Welcome back to the channel. Trading the 1 minute time frame on the US dollar Japanese yen today. It's on my Forex account. I did do actually one Nadex trade, but I switched to Forex for a bit because I wanted to get my account back up as I need to make a withdrawal. So just wanted to make some cash, and I saw that the moving averages here were looking very favourable this morning. So this is why I kind of switched on my computer around 9:30 GMT, and you can see the averages are very flat at this time. It spiked up above those, so I entered that trade quite confidently. Stacked 3 trades, came down for 22 pips, and then came down again in nice trading range. Not doing a lot perfect for this strategy. Re-entered 2 trades again, and got a 25 pips on that. Came up quite hard, nicely, up to where I'd come out of the trade. So it tends to come out around the middle here, depending on the price action. Price came back down here again, double hit on the bottom here, which is very promising. So I re-entered on that second touch, and we got 20 pips off that one. And again this evening, we just got another one for just took 9 pips out of that one. Very successful day at 76 pips. US dollar Japanese yen. That's not always the case. If it's trending hard and we don't get a lot of price movement, it's just a bullish market, it can be quite tricky to trade my strategy, and you have to be on the ball and be quite accurate with your entries. You always get a pullback of some sort, but they can be limited, especially on US dollar Japanese yen on a strong trend. So just have to be a bit careful. But generally in the London session, the trading is quite good. We do get a nice bit of movement. There was one trade a few weeks ago which I exited for a small loss on, and that was because it just kept on going down. Didn't have much of a pullback, and when I re-entered, I managed to come out. It was only a few dollars down. What's happened to my screen again? Unbelievable. The internet connection tonight, I don't know what's going on, but it just keeps on dropping. I think everyone is off at home and is obviously on the internet, but my internet keeps on dropping out tonight, so I do apologise if the screen goes blank like that. It's quite irritating. Luckily, it wasn't like that earlier in the day. I think everyone's just watching films tonight or something. So yes, I might have to switch to my backup connection in a second. So yeah, that's what I've traded today mainly. I trade the US dollar Japanese yen quite a lot because it's very reliable. I find very stable, and there are lots of opportunities all over the markets today. I trade the main pairs. Just give you a list of them now. I trade Aussie dollar Japanese yen, Aussie dollar USD, Euro GBP, Euro JPY, pound yen, pound dollar, Euro dollar, US dollar CAD, and US dollar Japanese yen. But USD JPY most of the time, depending on how the other ones are going. I do like pound yen as well because it's got nice volatility at the minute, and it spikes where you get your money. And yeah, it's been trading quite nicely. This is my strategy, the same strategy I use on everything, and I've gone through my other videos with my oscillator down the bottom. This is a custom oscillator with my custom settings on it, so there's only a few people that have this, and I've tweaked those settings even from the customized oscillator, but essentially all oscillators tend to be around the same thing. It's just this one I find it's a lot more accurate, especially with my settings. So it allows what this oscillator does, and this is basically 14 years of knowledge kind of from my trading. I've traded every strategy out there virtually. This is how I prefer to trade, and I've gone through this before, but the 1 minute time frame just gives me opportunities to trade when I get bored. Some people say you can't trade it. I seem to manage to trade it okay, and I hope I prove that in these videos. It's not perfect, you will get bad days, but overall it's a solid strategy. So, but I just find that it allows for movement in the market, whereas things like the RSI, the stochastics and things, they're a bit too volatile. And even if you extend the time frames out on the periods, and you go to 30 or 50 period on the RSI or stochastics, it just doesn't give you the same movement that this oscillator does. I'll tell you to have a look around him. Have a look at oscillators for Forex. It's just depending on how you trade. You can obviously trade it, oscillators on the pullbacks and the swings in the day. So you can see here we've got all the moving averages going up, okay, and obviously over here you can see it spikes down and re-enter, and you can re-enter again. That's a pullback, classic pull. Unbelievable, classic pullback. And here again we got another pullback. The market's going a bit flat, but it's fairly strong uptrend still. But then we get these issues, which I don't personally like, which is why I don't hold on to trades for a long time. They still make money, you know. These trades still make money. We've got deviation. This is my main line. I tend to focus on, and I've mentioned it before about the deviation away from my moving averages. This is the 3,000 moving averages. So 3 different 3,000 moving averages here. Just gives me a perspective of the market and a bit more confidence to trade. So if we get massive deviation away from those averages, it gives me confidence to trade, but also tells me when the market is flat, like today. It went very flat and didn't go anywhere pre-market, pre-London session. So I was quite confident that we're going to get some movement around that on a pretty flat day. You can see we've got a trendy day. Just go over to here. Sorry, terrible internet. Sorry. Anyway, this is so it's 9:30. It's up here, and you can see we've got the movement, but the averages are a long way apart, especially this green one from the blue and the orange. So it tends to indicate when you get that happening, the deviation between these lines so large that the market will roll over. It did indeed on that day. You can see just from the price action, we've hit a level here and it's come down, retested, gone down, retested, gone down, and it's pretty much been doing that in the range. So you can trade both these with this strategy, and I do trade the reversals and the pullbacks. It's just when we get to times like this, when this starts coming down like this or going very flat, you know, there's more downwards pressure. So yeah, this is my 1 minute time frame. This is how I trade the 1 minute time frame. I hope I'm not repeating myself too much in these videos, but it's just this for me is the holy grail. It's what I've sort of traded and worked my way up to. For 10 years, the last 4 years I've adapted this strategy, but really it's only come together in the last couple of years to get to a point where you've got the confidence to take these trades anytime, and very rarely do you come out with a big loss. You'll more often than not come out with a small loss or break even. I do get a few break evens, you know. It's not all sunshine and profit. Some days I only come out with 10 pips if I'm just trading US dollar Japanese yen, which happened the other day just on that pair. But I've been trading Nadex a lot because of the volatility in the market. The VIX is around 40, I think, at the minute. But actually, I just want to just quickly go over to the VIX, which is the volatility index, and just show you what's going on in the VIX at the minute. This can take ages to load. I'm going to come back. Hang on, set on pause. It can come. So here's the VIX. It did take ages to load. Here's the VIX index, which is volatility in the market. It's used often in stocks. You can see it's we've had a minor change in volatility. It's insane when you get events like this, but the volatility has just gone off the chart. You can see where we were, and there's some terrible trading times down here. It was just a flat grind upwards and in the stocks, and yeah, 15. Look at this. The average there was about probably around 15, 16, and then went up to 85. So anyway, this is just on the hourly. I just noticed this earlier. So we've come down to the bottom here, and volatility seems to be picking up again. So you can see it even works on the volatility index, this oscillator. So we go up, we go down. So you can more or less tell when there's going to be volatility in the market, but you can see where the peaks are here. Obviously, the volatility picks up and it just goes through the roof. So it's it's coming down here. So I expect volatility to pick up a bit. God knows how much it's going to do. Depends on what's going to happen in markets. But you can see we're at a point where volatility is likely to pick up. So that is the VIX. I just want to also show you quickly the Dow Jones, if this is going to die. No, it's not. So this is the Dow Jones. That was the 1 hour. Let's just change it to the 1 minute. So it's the Dow Jones Industrial Average, which is obviously stocks. As you can see here, how have markets moved? Gapped upwards, massive deviation from the moving averages, and we've gone way, way, way up overbought. So that was a great opportunity to sort market, which I didn't because I missed it. But if I was looking at stocks, then you can look at shorting stocks when you're ridiculously up here in the Dow, because there's going to be downward pressure. So if you want to short stocks in this situation, that'd be great. And then we retouch here, and it rolls over and comes down again. Okay, so we're down here now. So I expect a little bit of a bounce tomorrow, but we don't really know how that will go. But it's oversold at the minute on oscillator. So if you get the market open like that, though, you stand a large chance of it coming down, at least a little bit anyway. You can see the previous day it did go up, came down a small amount, reversed and went back up and stayed overbought for a lot of the day. So there's a lot of buying going on that day, and then you can see the next day it rolls over, comes down. So it just gives you an idea anyway of how it helps me trade stocks and things as well. So you can see when you get, especially with flat days like this, like I was saying about the oscillator, it's flat. We can see that it's coming down, but overall market is flat. So we're going to get a trading range, most likely in that day. And then we can see we've reversed that trend and it's gone straight back up. Averages revert upwards, buying pressure, etc. So it's different ways that I trade, but it's around the same thing over and over again. It's just rinsing and repeating the same trading method. Hope you enjoyed the video. This was meant to be all about trading Forex on the 1 minute time frame. But deviated off, just showing you it works on lots of different markets and how I use it in different markets to trade. Anyway, that's the 1 minute Forex trading strategy. Hope you liked it. Take care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.